Hi Leo, welcome to my channel. This is Arcana Rising. My name is Colleen. Welcome to March 2019. This is a general reading for Leo Sun, Moon, and Rising for March 2019. So I'm doing things a little bit differently this month. I have this microphone headset thing hooked up here, so let me know if you can hear me more clearly. And also, I created a new spread, and so I'm going to angle this down so you can watch the whole thing instead of just like staring at my face the whole time, even though, you know, I look pretty good. Okay, so besides that, there's a lot of crazy energy going on this month. Today is the first day of Mercury retrograde, March 5th. Tomorrow we also have the new moon in Aquarius, and we also have Uranus officially shifting into, oops, tried to light a candle and I just blew it out by accident. So Uranus is officially shifting into Taurus tomorrow. It'll officially be in its sign, and that's going to be in Taurus for about 7 years. So there's going to be some major shifts occurring. There we go. Cool. You'll see what I'm doing in a second. So there's going to be some major shifts occurring in our community, the way that we interact with each other, our environment. You know, we'll see it all unfold over the next 7 or so years. And we have spring coming up on March 20th, and at the same time we have another full moon. So there's just lots of shifts occurring this month, and we'll see how it pans out for you guys. So let's just angle the camera down. So that's the candle I was just lighting, if you were wondering what the heck I was doing. It's for ambiance. All right, cool. Please excuse this cord here. I'm hopefully going to have something better over the next couple months. Okay, so, okay. So I'm just going to move this out of the way, and we're going to get right into this spread here. I have a theme and a challenge, and then we'll talk about these guys shortly after. So let me just, okay, cool. So the theme this month for Leo for March 2019 is temperance. And this is a major arcana card, so this is a pretty big role that we should be playing this month. The temperance card is all about balance. Balance in all forms, you know, working with the dualities to, sorry, give me 1 second. Hey Google, next song. I put on this meditation music and it was like really weird for just a second there. It was throwing me off. Okay. Temperance. So this is really just all about balance and harmony, and also talking about, you know, everything in moderation. This is not a month for extremes. So keep that in mind as well as we continue forward through this month. You know, not going to the extremes with anything, either emotionally or, you know, physically, or, you know, just any mentally, spiritually, in any form. This is not a month for like going off the rails and like, you know, going in a completely different direction. Like, you know, let's keep the balance here. Let's stay in harmony. This is a month for compromising as well. So, you know, just going with the flow this month, not forcing things to occur, which is perfect because, you know, with Mercury retrograde, it can muddy up the mind or the energy around the mental aspects of the self, which can make it a little bit more difficult to really move forward with things. So keeping things in balance this month is really going to help you in, processing whatever is going on mentally this month as well, which will in turn make it easier for you to continue along your path. So, okay, so the challenge this month is the 10 of Swords. And this is a pretty extreme card. Like, you can just see it here. Like, I think you killed him on the first try. You know what I mean? You didn't have to, like, keep going. Like, what was the point of that? You know what I mean? So this is definitely a card of extremes. This is a card of, you see this backstabbing here, face down on the ground. Maybe this guy clearly did not see this coming. The swords represent the mental aspects of the self. So it's kind of like a betrayal of the mind in a way, and getting wrapped up into this like victim kind of energy, or this helplessness kind of energy. So this is something that we need to be careful of allowing ourselves to get caught up in this month. So it seems like our mind could be playing tricks on us this month, and we could be self-sabotaging through this process. This is really like beating a dead horse, really like beating a dead horse. Like there's no point, there's no purpose in continuing to beat this dead animal. You know what I mean? There's no point in continuing to stab this person in the back when he's already been killed the first time. You know what I mean? It serves no purpose. So it's like you experienced the pain in the past. Why are you reliving it over and over and over and over again? Do you know what I mean? Your mind is torturing yourself, or it has the potential to torture yourself with pains from the past over and setting up the scene in your mind to relive it over and over again. So this is why it's really important to stay in this energy so you don't get wrapped up in this energy. You know what I mean? Everything in moderation this month so you aren't going into the extremes. Okay, so this spread that I created is Earth, Air, Fire, Water. And it's about like how these elements, the energy of these elements are contributing to certain areas of your life. So this is the Earth card, and this is how this energy is presenting itself in your career, with your finances, with your health, things to that degree. So we have the King of Cups here. And he's also a card of harmony and balance as well. Like he's mastered his emotions, to work for him instead of against him. And I feel like that's a message for, for every aspect this month, but, physically this month, gaining control of the emotions this month is going to help you physically, financially, and in your, day-to-day life. And that's pretty obvious. But there's something here about having a healthy relationship with yourself, pours out into all other areas of your life. And I feel like this is what this month is really trying to encourage you to do, is to work on your relationship with yourself and getting yourself to a place of homeostasis, getting yourself to this healthy environment so that you can move forward in the direction that most benefits you. Because, if you look back into the past for Leo, they haven't really had the best track record with their surrounding environment. And it feels like this is a month to really work on that. This is not a month to really force things. This is a month to just, working with the flow, paying attention to your reactions when things come and go, flowing with the tide when things are shifting, and, learning how to continue to get to this place of center and, observing your feelings before reacting to certain situations is really going to help you in the long run. So this could be maybe when you get into the extremes, maybe your initial reaction could be to just go straight to unhealthy habits, smoking cigarettes, drinking, yada, 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 to avoid the feelings that come up during those times. And this is really encouraging the opposite. It's saying when you observe the situation and observe your emotions and then you react, that's when you have control of your emotions. That's when you have control of the situation. And that's when you can make things work for you instead of against you. And that, pours into your career, that pours into your finances and into your health. Maybe you're going to extremes with overspending or, anything of that nature. It's like check, your emotions. When they're in control, everything else is in control, basically, is the energy for this month. And it feels like, I don't really feel like there's going to be any real issues in this area because this guy has a handle on his shit, basically. So, don't get too stressed about what I'm saying, but I'm just, allowing you to see that there is a connection between your emotional reaction and your external environment. And this month is a month of staying in balance. And this is where the balance begins. So then we have the air section, how the air energy is affecting you this month. And we have the Knight of Wands and the Queen of Cups. And this is very interesting because one is fast moving and one isn't moving at all, there's like this, passionate, fiery energy that's, leading you forward. There's an impulsiveness too, like a spontaneity here. And then there's like a nurturing, motherly, compassionate energy as well. And this, this section, the air energy, is reflected through how you communicate with people, all the mental aspects of the self, and, any ideas or inspirations that are coming in. So you may be going back and forth between self-care and, self-care, slowing down, nurturing the self, and, wanting to charge ahead, wanting to immediately act on the inspirations that you are receiving, ready to just run with it, grab the torch and run. And then this one is kind of like, slow down, let's nurture this inspiration that's coming in and, bring it into being, And then this one's like, no, let's just move ahead with it, basically. not as extreme as the swords, but there's still that fiery energy. Leo's already a fire sign, so I feel like it's probably more intense. So you're kind of going back and forth between wanting to move forward with things, but then also wanting to nurture things more so that the inspirations and these ideas become more concrete. And I would say at least the first half of the month, spend your time here in the nurturing, in the guiding of these ideas so they don't slip away from you, you know, raising it into something more concrete. And then maybe towards the end of the month, then taking off with it, if at all, because we will still be in Mercury retrograde, and these are the mental aspects of the self. So we really want to like take the time to really process these inspirations and these downloads that are coming in. And, you know, in terms of communicating with others, this could be, you know, going back and forth between being caring, being that motherly, nurturing, loving, compassionate person in how you communicate with others, and then, you know, completely flipping to the other side and reacting impulsively and, you know, getting really heated up about certain situations and, you know, ready to fight, charge ahead, you know, ready to fight in, you know, whatever discussion is coming up. So it's kind of like this flipping back and forth. And this could also be extremes as well, if you really want to look at it this way. Maybe this is where the extremes are presenting itself because you have this challenge of not beating yourself up over things from the past and torturing yourself with, you know, not allowing the mind to torture yourself with occurrences of the past. And so you kind of you get into this nurturing energy, you know, when you're all balanced and in harmony. And then when your mind kind of creeps in to catch up with you, or your fears catch up with you, that's when you start acting impulsively or ready to fight. You know what I mean? So it's really important to keep this energy in check this month. I feel like, well, we'll see. I was going to say, I feel like this is where the main challenge is this month, being that we have this Mercury retrograde energy as well. So, Knight of Cups in reverse in the fire position. And this is interesting. You know, in the fire section, this is all about your intentions and your passions and, you know, what drives you, your aspirations. And this, you know, the Knight of Cups is also a card of extremes. You know, you can think of Romeo. You know, he only knew this girl for like maybe a week and was ready to drink poison and die for her. You know what I mean? So, you know, really, you know, putting your heart on your sleeve to the extreme for people, you know, an extreme vulnerability and, you know, overextending the love, you know, letting your heart guide you, but then going even further than that and like being like, let me smother you with gifts and, you know, I'm going to write you poems and sing outside your window with a boombox or something like that. So that's like the energy of this dude. It's in reverse, so I feel like there's like a pessimism around love or around where your love is, you know, where your passions are. I feel like there's this negative aspect around it. Maybe, you know, going to the opposite extreme of the Knight of Cups would be, you know, living in despair and feeling like you're never going to find love and, you know, woe is me, you know, I'm going to write sad songs about never finding love and, never share it with the world. And, you know, like things like that. So, a little dramatic in a way. So, when it comes to your passions and your, you know, your intentions this month, I would say it would be about nurturing these passions, nurturing your aspirations rather than immediately negating them and feeling like you don't have, there's no sense of value in pursuing them. So I'm going to clarify this some more and see if there's any other messages here, but it feels like I'm trying to think of how I can explain what a good way of setting an intention with this new moon would be, you know, with this Knight of Cups in reverse. Please help me clarify Knight of Cups in reverse in the fire position. What would the intention be? And I feel like this is a possibility more so when you're dealing with the challenge this month and letting your mind kind of, or your illusions of reality and your fears kind of take over. Okay, show me a card, please. Okay, I just heard choose a card. Okay. Okay, so we have the Wheel of Fortune in reverse here. That came up with the Knight of Cups in reverse. And I'm feeling like this is kind of saying that, you know, your passions are not in alignment with your higher purpose, is what it's really saying. Like you're not going in the direction of your soul's purpose with whatever passions you've been pursuing. So maybe that's why you go to these extremes, because there's this uncertainty, or this uncertainty of the direction that you're going in. It creates this self-doubt, and then you start beating yourself up about it because you're unsure. That's when it starts to creep in. So it's telling you that when it comes to your passions, whatever you're pursuing right now is not it. So I would be saying, you know, with our intentions this month, how can I get myself back on track? You know, my intention as a Leo would be, you know, for this month, you know, being open to the signs that the universe is presenting to me for how I can get back on track with my life purpose. And I feel like the best way to really be open to those signs is through this Temperance card. And we have the water, how the water is energy is affecting Leo in the month of March. We have the Justice card in reverse, and we have the Ten of Pentacles. And the water aspects would be love, relationships, and your emotions, and how they are affecting, you know, this month for you. So I feel like the Justice in reverse talks about, I mean, like, justice, when it's in reverse, it's, you know, injustice, what's not fair, what isn't honest, what is, you know, not reflective of the moral high ground. The Ten of Pentacles is really like a content family life, wholesome, supportive, um, a sustainable way of living. And I'm wondering, when it comes to love and relationships, maybe there's this level of dishonesty that, like a pattern of dishonesty or distrust or unfairness that comes um, in relationships, and maybe specifically in your family life, in your personal family situation. So I feel like the relationship in the family life, there's something going on with honesty. There's something going on with being fair and being open here. And maybe that kind of pours into your personal, your own personal relationships in love. Maybe you feel like um, maybe you feel like the only way to achieve a happy, wholesome family life is through, you know, deceit in a way. I'm going to clarify this one some more. But there's something about an injustice in the family life, in feeling financially complete. Oh, the Tower. Oh my gosh. Okay. So I feel like this is where Uranus and Taurus is really making itself known, as it first shifts into this sign. I will say personally, I have already felt a major shock in my life, and it's only the beginning. And I know that it's a long road ahead for what's coming, and it's a doozy, basically. Maybe at some point I will share it with the world, but right now I'm not ready. But I feel like, so for me, when I see the Tower upright, I feel like this is major shifts, major changes, at your own hands. Like, you are in control of these shifts. Like, you are the one who is enacting these major changes. When it's in reverse, it's like the universe has been pointing you in the direction of major changes for quite some time. And maybe you have not been responsive to those signs or those messages. Like, that you have to do this, but you haven't been doing it. And now it's come to a point where the universe is like, okay, you haven't been listening to me, so now I'm going to intervene here. And I feel like it is jolting, or like really, really shaking up your family life situation, and how honest you guys are within your family life. It's really shaking up this sector, and it can have a real effect on the emotions and on your heart, obviously, because it pours out into all other relationships. And maybe it's saying, it's not just the family life, it's all relationships in general. And like, how do we get to this place of feeling supported, feeling content, feeling complete, feeling whole again when I'm, with the people I care about most? And it's addressing the injustices. It's addressing the areas of these relationships where people have not fully been honest. The lies are coming out. The truth is coming out. And it's shaking up that whole situation. And so how do you get through this? Get through it with the Temperance card. You get through it through staying balanced. You have to stay in alignment this month, not going to the extremes this month, because this is coming whether you want it to or not. And it's all about how you react to those situations that is really going to, you know, that's really going to set the tone for who you are and who you want to be in the upcoming years. You know what I mean? Like, how would you like to see yourself, you know, looking back on these situations in months from now or years from now? You know, how you are reacting to these situations is very important for your personal growth. And I feel it's really going to be, you know, keeping your emotions and your reactions in balance this month is really going to help shine a light on the direction you should be going in. I feel like once this gets shaken up and released over here, your true path, your true purpose is gonna, like the trees are gonna part, and you're gonna see this path in front of you when everything starts to settle again. So it's gonna be a little bit messy in the relationship section of life, but you know, you can only control how you react to things. You can only control your emotions and your mind, and how much, like, and whether or not, you know, you're letting it control you or you're controlling it. So you can either be the victim of the situation, or you can, you know, take your power back in this way through harmony. So maybe this helplessness and victim energy is also stemming from what's going on over here. So I pulled 2 oracle cards as well from the Nature's Whispers oracle card deck. And we have Bountiful Harvest. And she is just reassuring you that you are fully supported through everything. You're fully supported financially. You're fully supported emotionally and mentally. In all forms, you are abundant. And you need to just continue living your life as if you know this already. Because if you start getting into this energy of, you know, I have nobody and I'm never going to have enough and I'm going to be struggling my entire life, you're going to, you know, slip into this victim energy that we're trying to avoid this month. You really want to, you know, see it in this light. And that's how you keep the balance. Catch your breath. We also have, catch your breath. So like when I was first pulling out these cards, I really felt a lot of fast-paced energy. So I feel like there's going to be a lot of movement for you this month, which is why it's so important to keep yourself centered. So catching your breath. Don't be afraid to excuse yourself from intense situations. Like even if it's just to like go to the bathroom and take a moment by yourself, you know, during whatever is going on, or going on a retreat this month to clear your head and get some solitude, so that you can continue to stay in this balanced energy instead of, you know, locking yourself away and getting caught up in your fears. You know what I mean? Catch your breath. Catching your breath by, you know, and doing that is going to help ground you, you know, when things get elevated. So avoiding extremes this month, staying balanced, staying centered, and knowing that there's going to be some major shifts in the relationship department. It's family relationships, friendships, or love relationships. Let me know how it presents itself to you this month and in the months coming ahead. Thank you so much, Leo, for watching. I really appreciate you guys. Please like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you in April. Take care.